Hello everyone. This is a life lesson. Whoever wants to learn from it may do so, and I hope you do. Feels like the talk that I have heard of Mr. Neil Diamond, he's not a singer. Neil Diamond is a singer. I think Neil Donald Walsh, Mr. Neil Donald Walsh. This feels like the answer to my confusion has been given. There was a Maharam Majlis I heard long time ago. At that time, perhaps Allama Aqil Turabi used to recite the Majlis in Karadar, at Karadar, Bara Imam Barga. And so he said that we have already chosen our path before coming to this earth in our soul prenatal state. So when God created us, there somewhere in the prenatal state, he said that Imam Sajjad alayhi salam chose the hardest and God had asked us over there who would accept this kind of life or this test. So the soul of Imam Sajjad rose and accepted the hardest test, which then he was given in Karbala, and then after the aftermath of Karbala, Kufa, Sham, and back to Medina. And so this is what it is that if I could just, what I've understood is that quoting Mr. Neil Donald Walsh is that here our life is a demonstration, and so we don't have to become better or worse or work for better, but we just need to recall, to realize our purpose here and do that purpose. So this would mean that if Yazid had agreed to do bad over there, then he would be predestined here to do the bad. But he chose it over there. The good news for these criminals is that they can change what they have chosen there. If they have chosen bad there, they can change here. This is the choice for the criminals, the people who have chosen bad in their prenatal state. And so, as I understand, I'm jumping to something else like good. Good is good. So it stands on itself. Okay, so we were told by Allama Rashid Turabi radiyallahu anhu that good doesn't need to be tested, for it is good inside out, and it will always do good. No matter what we do to it, it is good, beneficial. So beneficial is beneficial. No matter what you do, you, from a beneficial person who is beneficial, will always be beneficial for you in the interaction with this beneficial person. And this life doesn't need the bad to prove what is good, because good is good and it doesn't need to be proved by this life even. So I'm stuck now. The thing is that how do we explain the bad that the souls have chosen in their prenatal state, as we were asked by God that this is what who would do this? Who would be the greatest down on earth? Who will be guiding someone? Who would be good? Who would be bad? So we've already been asked, and we have decided up there in our prenatal state, in our soul state, what kind of life we will live, and how much harm we will do, and what kind of tests we will go through. And so we just have to take the responsibility now here and demonstrate what we've already chosen up there, or somewhere in our prenatal state. Sorry, I don't mean up, down, or that doesn't exist when we were in that state. However, we do call it like a fall. So like, metaphorically, we could say up there. So this is all predestined. And then what Yazid did was what he chose up there to do. And that couldn't be changed because he chose it up there. Although he could have a choice here if he prayed and if he was, wanting to change, he could have changed. So bad can be changed to good, but good is good. And it doesn't need to change. It can change to bad if good decides to become bad. So now we have two choices. One in the prenatal state, where we gave our promise to God and we said, okay, this is what we will do, and we come here, and we then remain true to our covenant to God in the prenatal state. And when someone decides to break this covenant of being good here, demonstrating God's glory, then I think what happens there is that God knew if someone comes here, breaks the covenant, forgets about the covenant that he's made or she's made in their prenatal state, then who will stand up against that tyrant here on earth? So we were told in that era of Karbala, Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, chose the hardest pilgrimage.